Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new Magicka Sorcerer build for the Elder Scrolls Online Dragon Bones patch, update 17. I've been asked numerous times what's my build, what skills do I use, because apparently people can't read Superstar or find it too difficult. So here's the build. We'll be looking at a classic Destro Resto Sorc build. So that's viable in small and medium scale PvP as well as duels and no CP battlegrounds. So let's not waste any time. Here's the gear. I run 5 pieces of Shackle Break on the body because it's by far the best Magicka Sorcerer 5-piece set out there. It allows you to run Clockwork, Citrus Fillet or else Witch Mother's Potent Brew without having any stamina sustain issues. So 5 Shackle Break on the body, then 1 Lich Sash with 3 Lich Jewelry and 1 Restoration Staff of the Lich and infused with Weapon Damage enchant. On our Destro Bow we run Asylum Perfect Inferno Staff and 1 Domihos Epaulets. So that's for the gear. I personally run 5 well-fitted with, 5 impen with 2 well-fitted usually. I mean, right now I have 1 infused helm because I'd rather have 21k health in Cyrodiil rather than 20.5, purely for convenience sake, and well, to be honest, it's way easier to get burst when you're at 20k health. But you know, like either 1 infused, 1 well-fitted, 5 impen, or else 2 well-fitted and 5 impen. I know some sorcs that run like 3 well-fitted and 4 infused out there with 0 impen, but they can keep their shields up 100% of the time, where I'm more of a streak first, like shield later sorc, so that's kind of like, yeah, that doesn't work out well for me. Anyways, for the skills. On the front bar, we run Crystal Blast. Yes, I moved to Crystal Blast because, well, frags lost their stun, and I think that running Blast is better now, just purely for the stun. Like, sure, you can get interrupted sometimes while casting, but usually it's worth it. And, well, the Rune Cage stun is way too hard to sustain in an open world build, so yes, Crystal Blast it is. Then we have Velocious Curse for a burst. I usually reapply it after the first explosion, but you can let it last all 12 seconds, it's really up to you. Then I have Harness Magicka, because I usually stick 1 shield per bar. Like in Cyrodiil, you often have lags or like delays, and it's better to have 1 defensive mechanic per bar, like in case you get bursted while on the wrong bar and can't bar swap before dying, you know. I mean, you're in light armor, so you're kind of squishy. Anyways, there you have the Sorc Execute. I have the move that brings back Magicka, and finally Crushing Shock, which you can, well, you can either use Crushing Shock or Force Balls. I personally prefer Crushing Shock to interrupt reses, Radiant Destructions and Snipes, but if you want Force Balls for more damage, it's really up to you. I have Dawnbreaker's ulti because it's a cheap ulti that stuns and does more damage to vampires, so it's perfect. And it's easy to time with the Sorc Burst anyways. On our back bar we have Power Surge for the damage buff. We have Dark Deal here. If you can sustain without Dark Deal, then just slot Mines instead of it. Just really, it's up to you. Mines or Dark Deal. Then we have Healing Ward, Hardened Ward, and Streak with Rest Ulti. You can also use Overload instead of Rest Ulti and just slot some additional shit on Overload bar. So here's my Overload bar, but yeah, I personally prefer just slotting Rest Ulti directly on it. As for the gameplay, it's pretty simple, as you can see in the following duels. Just stay mobile, don't forget to jump, and yes, that's about it. For the buff food, as I said previously, just use Witch Mother, Clockwork, Citrus Fillet, and for the CP, here they are. I have 26 Entometures for the extra Dawnbreaker dots, 61 in Master at Arms, 11 points in Shattering Blows, 27 Spell Erosion, 51 Elfborn, 64 Elemental Expert, 40 Shadow Ward, 34 Tumbling, 75 Arcanist. I mean, you can decrease Arcanist to 64, but I like 75, it's a nice even number. Then 8 Bashing Focus, just to interrupt the reses in case, like, well, your Crushing Shock doesn't work for some reason. 51 in Warlord, 32 into Siphoner for that extra cancer. 31 in Bastion. It's not worth like putting too many points in Bastion because it's, well, it's dead start to be honest, but you know, got a shield. Elemental Defender here, Hardy here, 10 in Light Armor Focus, I don't know, just have like more physical resistance, 28 in Thick Skin. You can move like the Light Armor Focus points into Thick Skin, I don't know, it's up to you. 22 into Resistant and 51 in Ironclad. And well, that's about it. Hopefully you've enjoyed this build and are now, well, I mean, I'd still suggest to just, like, I mean, I literally posted the same info on any superstar I've given out, but, well, I guess it's too hard to read, so, yeah, you know. And I hope to see you around with this build in Cyrodiil. So as you can see for the first duel, I'm being pretty damn offensive. I'm super mobile. Just don't forget to jump because it adds to your base evasion percent. Just curse, crystal blast, and well, crushing shock. Yeah, I mean, just, you know, sort of burst. For the second duel, you see me be pretty defensive because it's a higher skilled player who's very offensive too. Like, against fellow magsorcs, don't hesitate to use Ball of Lightning, as you can see me do at some point during the video. So just cast Ball of Lightning and just try to line of sight, or else just run around, change the battlefield to your advantage, as you see me doing right now. And yeah, just don't forget to time your burst, keep your shields up, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy magsorc gameplay.